Yo Internet, what's going on? Welcome to another episode of the Jongravesshow, in this case the Complaint Trainer, and today we are talking about what is going on in the gaming industry. And I don't necessarily know how people really feel about the Division. All I can say is, well, me personally, the only thing that I can say is that the Dark Zone was a good try, and since this is it was supposed to be a very long and very interesting game, which that people were supposed to be playing for years and years on end. You would honestly be surprised that it kind of skimped upon the two things in which that a game like that probably should have taken into account to last. Number one is story, and how does the Division story stack up? Let's move on. Let's move on from that shit, because again, as far as I know, their story was sort of non-existent, and they really didn't do anything with any of the characters. Minor review, but the other staple is PvP. Well, they didn't necessarily give us PvP. The only thing that they had was the Dark Zone and the option of going rogue. And when you go rogue, you basically become a one-man army. And imagine if you had that one skill that makes you invincible for 10 seconds. I mean, again, their skills are already 8 times higher than your average team, because you can't just shoot them down and kill them up on sight like a normal player. You kind of have to wait. You kind of have to wait until they're I want to say until they're fucking you kind of have to either just run them down or just go invincible and they'll hope for the best. That's the most that you can fucking do. All right. So, finally, after a long-ass while, the next Division update is that they're going to give us PvP. I'm not necessarily sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing, because from how I was looking, it's a little bit too late. And especially since that the Division was kind of doing this thing a little while ago, before they threw out that sweet update, which, quote-unquote, is supposed to make you do more damage. Before that came out, it was well, if you want to get good items and weapons, well, go to the Dark Zone. Dark Zone's kind of bullshit, because now, whenever you want to get critical weapons, which can give you the ability and the strength to take down the fucking incursion missions, well, they're gonna shoot you in the back for that, because again, it's motherfuckers just gonna kill you whenever. And when they actually had to fucking resort to fucking exploiting the goddamn game, in the incursion missions just to get decent weapons and armor, well, company didn't like that. They said, no. Ubisoft, they didn't like that. No. You about to get banned, sucker. How dare you, how dare you not do this the hard way? Now, I'm all for skill in video games, but that shit was just fucking crazy. Moving on, though, however, there's also something interesting, and it is the Division is one of the many games that's actually getting a film, or is supposed to be getting a film, and they finally have a director, a director in traffic, Stephen Gaghan. So basically, Jake Gyllenhaal and Jessica Chastain, that they're going to be in the video game adaptation of the Division. And my question is that we know what the story. Well, if you've played the Division game from start to finish, you kind of realize that story, it's supposed to be bigger than what it is, but because, well, I understand you having a 4-man team or a fluctuating team of people. The problem with most games that do this shit, and that they try to say, well, yeah, man, this game, it needs to have a movie because, it's a really good-ass story. See, I can see them saying that about Uncharted. I can see them saying that about The Last of Us. I can see them saying that about plenty of other video games that actually have the story sort of laid out in front of you. The problem is, most video game films, most people, they don't play video games, and they never played the fucking game in the first place, and then they hear about it from somebody else, and they just switch shit because they just don't like it. I mean, again, I think the only reason why, man, the Mortal Kombat movie got out so well is because they actually played Mortal Kombat 1 and 2 and 3. So I think that's the reason, man, why those got out good. And also, it's very impossible to fuck up Hitman. So, of course, everything else, man, from House of the Dead to fucking Blood Rain, well, Uwe Boll, he kind of doesn't give a shit about like that, because you know, tax returns and shit. So basically, even if he makes a terrible movie, tax return. But for shit like this though, I look at it and I'm like, I wonder how much of that film that they're actually going to get right. Because again, if they do actually make this film and it actually comes out really good and it looks really amazing, and Jake Gyllenhaal and Jessica Chastain, they can basically carry this film and make it better than the game, or make it a better adaptation than just about every other gaming film, we might actually get us some hope back out there for people out there who care about who actually care about this shit. But I guarantee you it's gonna be impossible, because again, most of the story of the Division, in this case the aftermath and shit that the character wasn't there for, it's told via flashback. You know, so it's gonna be a little difficult to actually get this story rolling, you know. But that finally moves me over to my final plot, and that is Destiny. Again, another game that follows, said that actually kind of is doing well now, which did a lot of the same things which that Destiny did, even though the Division did, even though Destiny came out first. The question is, do you think that people still treat this shit the same way they did when it was announced? Because the more I think about Destiny, the more I think they really just keep shooting themselves in the fucking foot. And just about every little piece of negative press really kind of makes it so that when you think about the game, it slowly hurts it. Because again, when you think about it, it's like, okay, Destiny, they're not going to do a Christmas thing this year, a Christmas event, but they want people say, man, but they're gonna do the tower decorations and the cosmetic items and stuff like that. You know, so Christmas Day, so they're gonna do something, but it's not like a themed anything. So that's kind of a problem already. The other thing is as well is that when you really think about it, it's like this game was supposed to be a 10-year game of constant updates, constant everything, and they really don't want it to be that. Every single time a DLC comes out, like, that shit can be beaten in a fucking evening. I kind of don't know what they're doing. Or at least I don't know what their plans are. But until then, though, that is what I gotta say about that. Please tell me what you think about this down there in the comment section. Sorry I didn't edit this video, but apparently, like, I have to get another I have to get another USB-B cord for my Galaxy 4, so I can hook up to my computer, because it's just acting funny. So I'll see you next time. I'm out.